Hello Imagineers, my name is Ben and this is my bathroom mod for our 2019 2850 MK. So as you can see in the bathroom here, we've got the puck lights up top as is standard. But what's going on is the dear wife says, gosh, I don't have enough lighting over the mirror when I'm trying to get ready, put on makeup, all those things that she likes to do. And I even find for me shaving is not quite as enjoyable. So moving out here to the living area, of course the slide is in right now, but earlier I replaced the standard lighting above both the theater seating and the dinette with a pretty simple LED light that is dimmable. So we can sit here in the evening and watch TV or do other things and not be blinded by the light. So what I did then is saved that light, of course, and it is right here. The thing that's nice about this light, in addition to being the standard light that's installed throughout the coach, is that it does have the switch on it. So we're going to have the option of having this light up here and turning the switch on and off when we want to use this, and then when maybe it's morning time and we don't want that many lights in here, we can go ahead and switch it off. So I've already taken the fan shroud and screen down and exposed the wiring here, and so this is where I'm going to pull power for the light install. So the nice thing is it'll be operated by the switch on the wall, but because the fan itself has a switch, we can use the switch on the wall. We can turn on both the fan and the light at the same time. We can have the switch on and have only one of the devices on, or we can have everything off. So we have some flexibility here. So this is a pretty simple pull down. The 4 screws take the shroud out, it drops out. The screen assembly comes down that has the switch on it. And then you just remove these 2 spade clips from the back of the switch. So I'm going to come here behind the switch and pull some power here. I'm going to run it behind this 2x4 into this void here, and then drill a hole and drop the wiring through here. I have a handy dandy little fish tape that I got at Home Depot. It's just a little 15-footer. I used it for several things. Pretty darn handy to have, and that's what I'm going to use to fish the wire behind that 2x4. Dear wife has asked that I not center the light over the mirror, but rather center it here on the fan itself. So it's not going to be centered on the mirror. And so we'll get to it. Okay, so I've gotten this far. What I've done is sort of prop the screen and switch mechanism up in the hole here after I clipped the wires together, just to kind of test everything out. And then I've got my additional wires run. I've got them temporarily wire nutted together. I just wanted to make sure that everything was going to work as expected. So the switch on the wall is on. And so we have light here. And then there's the fan operating. And then kill the switch. Kills both things. You can kill the switch on the fan, operate the switch, and you have lights. Kill the switch on the light, activate the switch on the fan. Turn the switch on, and you have fan. So I'll show you here in a second kind of how I wired it together. Okay, I dropped that switch and screen back out of there. So for most folks, this is super, super simple stuff. I know that I'm no expert at wiring, and so when somebody does one of these wiring mods, I always appreciate some detail. So just simple hot and ground. This is the hot wire side here, and so this is the spade connector that was on the fan. I had to clip it, and then using these butt connectors, and I had blue. This blue wire is going to be what runs up behind the 2x4 and comes down over here for the light. And then the same thing for the ground side. The ground side, you can see the ground wire running up to the fan motor, and then it's clipped together with butt connectors. And then I actually did have some white wire for that. I'll take these temporary butt connectors off of here, and then put this all up behind here. So one thing I am doing, and I haven't drilled the hole yet, but when I put this up here, I just cut this little piece of 3/8 plywood. What I'm going to do is drill a hole in the center. The fan shroud screws into these little 1x pieces here. When I put the light up, even though it doesn't weigh much, I don't want to just rely on this to hold it. So I'm going to bore a hole in the center of this, or wherever center winds up being, for the wiring. And I'm just going to take my brad nailer and put it up inside, and then put some brads in it to hold it in place. So this will be above and give it some meat for the screws that the lights mounts with to grab. So that should be a nice, clean, finished install. We have to be careful because there's some wiring, of course, running up here. When you pull back, here's some television cable here, and then there's, of course, some other wiring. So I'll be mindful of that. I did reach back here and make sure I had enough room to do all that, but it should look pretty good when it's done. So, project complete. My wife has joined me here and is doing the filming now. Come on in. So she actually decided that she wanted the light to be mounted closer to the wall, so that as it reflected back on her, she could see her face in the mirror better. So this is where it wound up. As you can see, the switch pops on and both the fan and the light come on. Of course, you can kill the fan and just have the light. And then you can see the difference in here with just this light on. Turn that off, and then these overhead lights. So if you come in middle of the night, you want a little bit of light, but you don't necessarily want to be spotlit on the commode, you can just have the little light going there, or just have the fan on if that's what you desire. Anyway, so that's the mod for the 2850 MK with the switched light above the mirror. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, check me out in the comments.